Start. Hi, Amit.
Good evening, Dr. Suyog. How are you? Hope you had a good evening and you had a nice weekend.
Yes, weekend was amazing.
Yes.
And looking forward for a new week to perform.
Wow, that's great. And today's topic for discussion is a bit different. It's a generic topic of management, not specific to HR, but your inputs on the same is really, really welcome. The question today, I again have one question for the day. It is related to time management, your inputs on time management, right? From children, people, entrepreneurs, managers, bosses, CEOs, everybody's struggling with time. We just have 24 hours and we want to use, the best of it. So we want your great input on how to manage our time effectively. Please.
Superb,
Go ahead.
Amit. Yeah, and I really appreciate your Only Positive Forum, which is coming up with very creative and useful questions, which are useful for
Thank you.
majority of the people. And so we around 10 years back, we started this program called time management, and then in our managers development program, time management was one of the modules. And it has been very successful, and a lot of people were getting advantage at that time. So right now, recently, I was not doing it because I was busy with I'm busy with my other assignments. But yes, that's a very important point you raise. So I remember typically, there are few pointers we used to explain to the people. So let us go what I remember now. I don't remember everything, but so one is that, first and foremost thing we used to guide people is that typically start a day at least 60 minutes in advance than what is expected time. So suppose, so I used to follow that, and I encourage other members also. Suppose somebody reach to office at 9 o'clock. Let us reach to office at 8 o'clock. Suppose I'm supposed to get up morning 7 o'clock. Let us get up at 6 o'clock. Or if it is a 6 o'clock, get up at 5 o'clock. So start a day at least 1 hour before than what is expected. That is the most important thing. And if anybody who does that gets a tremendous difference, one can see that. Because you start 60 minutes before, you have a great time to plan your day. You have great time to do all the necessary things. And if you're reaching before time, you beat the traffic, you reach out for everything. You are in the office. So thousands of people struggle because at the punching machine or office entrance time, they have to wait in a queue. If you have to go to the washroom, then you don't have to wait because nobody's there to bother you. You just go and finish. So everywhere you save time. And then typically, as soon as you reach to the office, there are people waiting for you for a coffee. But because you reach 1 hour before, you can start your day, you can finish a lot of things, and then you are available for people who is looking forward to you for coffee or discussion. So that is a far most important thing I always felt, and I always experience that. And then always keep some part of the day for unplanned or unexpected tasks. So majority of people I observe, they do a lot of planning for the day. So that is good part. But biggest challenge they have is that they block each and every minute of the day for everything. It should not be any person who is expert in time management. I recommend always keep some part of the time free. Because today's world is a dynamic world. So a lot of unexpected things comes to us. Somebody come and ask for a time. Somebody come and ask for a suggestion. That time we should, sometimes it becomes rude to say no. So one can always keep buffer time for taking such urgent and important tasks which are not scheduled. And if suppose it happens that out of 8 hours a day, you have 3 hours kept free for unexpected tasks. And you don't need to keep all 3 hours at the end of the day. You can keep it in between. And you suppose that 3 hours are free for you. Then again, you can take over the task for the next day or afterwards day or some other important task. Use that time for creativity, improvisation, better and better things. So always keep some part of the time for unplanned or unexpected tasks. Always keep enough time for a planning. That is another tip I want to give. Some people who struggle with the time management, they don't have enough time for their planning. So always keep time for planning how you want to plan your week, how you want to plan your next day, how you want to plan your day or next month or year. One should always have proper plan for everything. And also have a boundary for all conversation and meetings. So typically, suppose somebody call you for a meeting, always have time limit that, okay, this meeting we want to finish in 25 minutes or 30 minutes, because even those 5 minutes impact a lot. So, and
Correct.
always have clarity with all participants in the meeting that we are supposed to finish this meeting in so much time, and keep agenda to appropriate time and decorum. Second thing is that always uh, ensure that team members and you, like anybody who is leading a team, should keep the formats of the reports in the shortest possible way with necessary details. What happened? A lot of people waste too much time in creating reports, detail, and I have observed in, especially in large organization also, people hardly see the detailed reports. They just see the top 5 or 6 findings, and then so a lot of people are wasting time in creating reports. A lot of people are wasting time in reading the reports or discussing report. So take the important part of it and keep the shortest possible report. Avoid duplication of the things. So it saves a lot of time. And then, another thing I used to follow is that I used to remove a lot of unwanted subscriptions, which is not relevant for me or not using regularly. What happened? If you have, so it could be email, it could be WhatsApp, it could be internet-based, any pop-up. So a lot of people get distracted because they get such pop-ups, such highlighter. So at today's world, being a social media platform centric, everything is there pop-up available on the screen. So one should avoid that. Yes. And then always keep balance of team, resource, and tasks, which have to manage it as a team. So what happened? To save a cost, a lot of people compromise the number of people in a team, or give too much task to one individual. And sometimes somebody is unwell, somebody is not able to attend the work. Suddenly that load becomes, and it impacts. So it causes to do a lot of mistakes. The relationship gets spoiled with customer or people who are asking for that service. So always fight or negotiate well to have proper resources in a team. As a good manager, as a good leader, one should not compromise on the number of team or quality of the team, because that impacts on the overall performance of the organization as a team. So one should always keep that in mind. And then always have personal connect with all the people within or outside the team, within the outside the organization, within or outside the industry, because that helps a lot. Say, for example, you have I have a network in various industry people. I have worked with 13 industries. So if I am supposed to meet client in particular from the particular industry, I always talk to people expert from that. I know that what are the latest trends are happening. And then when I go and meet, I save my lot of time while building a rapport, because I know that what are the things happening in that industry. So the people, suppose otherwise people take 1 hour time to have a build a rapport. In my case, it may happen in 5 minutes. It may happen in 6 minutes. And so if you have update about that. Another thing is also, suppose you have to travel tomorrow to a particular city. And if you are talking to someone one day before, you know what are the things happening, what are the updates are there. And suppose there is a challenge on travel, you know that you get hits on, you get update in advance. So one should always have rapport and relationship or connect within or outside team. In organization also it is helpful, because sometimes you need to save some time of your team. That time support of other team members become very useful. So always keep a rapport and connection, personal connection with people within the team, outside the team. And avoid attending the meeting in which you are not able to contribute. So in my case, so when people invite me for a meeting, I first ask them, what is the purpose and why you are inviting me? If I am not there to contribute anything, I honestly, and with a humble request, I say, sorry, I don't think I'm a part of this, or I can't contribute anything to this. So I, with a humble request, I generally refuse. It saves a lot of my time. It saves a lot of time for them also, because sometimes people invite you out of respect. People invite you out of because of your position, or they need some quorum to be there. So you don't need to attend each and every meeting if you are not a contributor to that. So I think these are the few tips I want to give as a day. Maybe we can have another session, and in that we can cover other part.
Yes.
Yeah,
we will have a detailed discussion on time management, but these tips are really, really helpful. I like the starting tip, which is start 60 minutes early. That will definitely, change it. I think it's a game changer.
Yes.
So that was a very crucial tip. And capacity planning, the number of team members you said, that was also something which
Correct.
our teammates or our audience will definitely like. And why this question came up is about right now we have everything work from home. So to manage office and home together, it is a big task these days. So your inputs will be really helpful for all our
Yes.
audience. And thank you once again for your time. And I'll request you the closure quote for today.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, very important point that people are moving from work from home to work from office culture. And I was wondering whether they were working from home or whether they were working from office. A lot of people were
Hmm.
working till late night. And I was wondering that when you
Yes.
are saving your 3-4 hours travel time, why you need to work till
Traveling.
late
Why
night?
you want to avoid?
Because so I think people need to understand the tricks or tips of saving the time without wasting and without compromising the quality of the work. So closure tip, I can
True.
say that start a day 60 minutes before than your scheduled or whatever expected time. It will give you a miracle. It will have a lot of miracles. And never compromise. Second thing, do not compromise on the uh, quality of the resources, quantity of the resources. If you are a leader, do not compromise with the quality and quantity of the resources. To serve better to your clients, never compromise on quality and quantity. These are the two things I
Great.
would like to say.
Two great tips. I'm sure these are game changers. Thank you,
Yes.
Suyogji. Thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for your
Pleasure.
time. And wish you
Pleasure
a
talking to you.
nice evening. Good night. Bye.
Good night. Have a
Bye.
nice and
Bye.
wonderful week ahead. Productive week ahead.